Hello, this is Gio. Hey, look what we have here. We have some parts for a couple of shelves that we're going to be sticking up on this wall right here. These are just some small 23-inch long Burhult Ikea shelves, and you can kind of see the numbers there. And we're just there. It's going to be kind of a light bookshelf, and we're not going to stick too many heavy things on it. So we just have these plastic kind of L brackets that are going to support them. And you can see the number there again. They're from IKEA. So the tools we're going to be using today, well, we'll need a tape measure, a screwdriver, a level so we can make sure that the shelves are level, a drill, and with some drill bits, and then some fasteners, some screws, and some drywall anchors. Again, the shelves we're going to install today are pretty light duty. We're not going to put too much weight on them, so these plastic little drywall anchors should do the trick. However, if you're going to install shelves that will take a lot of weight, you may want to try maybe some toggle anchors or some drive type anchors, or even install your screw fasteners into the studs in the wall themselves. So for this particular project, I actually selected 3 different sizes of screws and 2 different sizes of drywall anchors. And there's a good reason for that, and it's mainly because of the bracket that I'll be using. You can see that it's kind of beveled here. It has different thicknesses. And if I were to use the same screws on both of these holes, let's say to secure them to the wall, you can see that one extends farther than the other. And that's the same situation as when I attach it to the actual shelf itself. And so to correct for this, for the wall screws, I selected like a large, long one and a shorter one. And you can see that they go out about an inch into the wall. And since these are 2 different sizes, they'll have 2 different sizes of anchors. And so for the portion of the bracket that will be attached to the shelf itself, I selected kind of a medium long screw here for the thickest part, and a smaller size screw for the thinnest part. And the selection of these screws were pretty much the length they extend from the bracket themselves. Because if I tip up the shelf here, you can see I'm going to pre-drill these holes, but you don't want the screws to extend all the way through the shelf or they'll poke out the other end. So you want to make sure that you select your screws so they are long enough to secure onto the shelf, but not so long that they extend beyond the shelf. Okay, so for our shelves, we kind of want to center them in the middle of this wall. So first I just want to find the center point, measure the width of the wall, go halfway, and mark it. And then we just find the center point on the shelves themselves. And then with our level, we are going to make sure that the shelves stay level and yet in the position we want them. And then we're going to mark with a pencil all the way across a line, including marking the ends of the shelf. So next you want to try to position the brackets appropriately. You don't want them at the very ends. That will be unstable in itself, and you don't want them too close because that will make the bookshelf kind of tippy. So probably you want them 2 to 3 inches off the ends. And so we'll probably stick them out there, and we'll put them the same distance on each side. Probably about 2 inches from the edge. And then I'm just going to use one of the screws. I'm going to go ahead and position the bracket appropriately, and then I'm going to just kind of use the screw as a punch so it shows where it's located. So next we need to install these drywall anchors, and so we need to pre-drill the holes, and you need to select a drill that's basically almost exact same width as the anchor itself, but not larger. You want the anchor to fit snugly in the hole, so when you put the screw in, it will expand and hold tight. And then go ahead and install your bracket with your screws. So with the brackets installed, you want to temporarily put your shelves where they generally sit. Make sure that they are equal distance on both sides. And then with a pencil or another marker, just mark where the holes are located. Okay, so with the holes marked, we want to select a drill bit just slightly smaller than the screws themselves. So when you kind of put them back to back, you could still see the threads of the screw. We also want to make note of the maximum depth we want this drill bit to go, and then mark it off with some tape. That way that bit won't extend all the way through our shelves and wreck our shelves. And then we just pre-drill our holes. And then we just replace the shelf, align the holes, and drive the screws. And there you go, our brand new shelves. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button at the bottom of the screen, and even consider subscribing to my channel. I will have many how-to videos to come. Bye-bye.